All right. So, impromptu, but it works. I wish that everybody is doing well, everybody's healthy, and know that you are blessed. Yeah. Life is, everybody knows life is full of ups and downs. Tomorrow's a new day. So if you felt that today was not a good day, just know that it's almost over. You'll look back tomorrow and grow and learn. Mm. So, reflection. Ooh, this reflection is my nerves there. There we go. All right. What I was doing. I still even had them on. By habit. So I'm gonna have to look for them. Not that I would lose them, but yeah. Whew, my eyes are tired. No, I have. If you are following on Instagram, you saw some little um, shenanigans. Eye doctor on Friday. Yeah. Few of us had eye exams because it was that time, and oh my goodness, that was major. It was a lot of fun, but major. So yeah, I have to. I mean, it's fun to have to pick out new, but when it comes to that price tag, oh my, yeah, that's the kicker right there. It's like I'm not ready. I know it has to happen, and for us, um, I don't know whether you have insurance or not. Glasses are a medical expense, and I heard people say they can't, but I see them do other things with the money, and I'm like, that's a medical expense. You know that you need that, so there's no reason. Anyway, yeah. So, and I always try to, um, I don't know, when it comes to my eyewear, I'm very picky. I just like certain styles, certain looks, but I do gravitate towards higher end, um, name brand. Like somebody said, the low key bling. Yeah, I do because that's something that I pay a little extra because it's mine. It's like a gift. I treat myself, so I want to look good. So yeah, I was in there sporting some couple things. I don't think I put up all the pictures, maybe one or two, but yeah. Uh, you have to wait and see if I actually got them. If you did see Instagram, you have to wait and see if I actually got those or I picked something else. But I'm telling y'all that price tag, I don't know. I guess it wasn't that bad because the ones I had before, not before these I just took off, but before these, um, oh my gosh, I dropped a whole, yeah, yeah, a lot for them. So anyway, um, and my lenses. Oh my gosh, that's what get me all the time. No matter how I do know about the online, buying the stuff online and stuff like that, because we do that. But my lenses are what get me. So anyway, go. I wouldn't be able to get by with, even if I did get uh designer, the bling online, it's still my lenses. It's gonna run the tag up anyway. So yeah, but what a way to start the year. Okay, a drop in the bucket. A long time coming though. Anywho, homeschooling in the 19. And what are you guys up to? How's homeschooling? I know many of us have started back if you took a break or kept it going. And many of us are, I guess the kids have, progressed in levels and things like that. So hopefully that's going well. But what I want to just come in here real quick about is it's been what, 2 weeks already? hmm Change. Change. Okay. Change is good. Change is good. Change is really good. Now, I'm not talking about, okay, we need to change this and, this curriculum and switch this and switch that. That's not what I'm talking about. Not that kind of change because it just happens far too often and it's unnecessary. Um, it's not given enough, the what do you call it? The transition period. When you change something, you have to give it a good 6 weeks. And, for curriculum, that should be about 3 months before you really see any sort of change, any sort of result, whether it's positive or negative. And that's after you have really considered what it is your expectation is out of that curriculum in the first place. Because a lot of times I hear people jump into new things and they have no, they come on, they're excited, they talk about it, but they don't even have any expectation from it. And then the next thing you know, oh, well, we switched this and it wasn't working. Okay, well, what did you expect it to do in the first place? You never spoke on that. So how can you say it didn't work? Um, but yeah, change. Something I want you all to consider is change every week. If you every week, once a week for the whole year, make one change in homeschooling, just one, that is going to add up to a lot and it can make a major difference the way you change things. I know we get used to things and we don't want to change things, but sometimes change is good. It's not saying that it's going to, not make something major, but little bit of, tweaks and things like that, little minor adjustments sometimes make a world of difference. And it could be in your way of planning. If you have a lack of planning, become more disciplined and really stick with it. Make that your change. Um, Not saying that you have to, write everything down and then follow that, because more often than none, we are writing things and lots of things and never accomplish those things and then feel about that big. That's not what I'm talking about. Um, if you are planning and you are, this is really the time when it's hard to, having taken a break off. A lot of people are in that struggle trying to hop back in after that break. and it's kind of overwhelming. If you are a planner, I advise you not to be such a slave to that planner, because it too can make you feel about this big. There are weeks I can open my planner and shut it because I just don't feel like putting anything in there. I don't want to put that pressure on myself. I like to give myself grace. I know realistically what we can accomplish in a day, in a good day, a bad day, a week, a couple days. I know realistically, and that's something that I think that everybody should really, focus on. Put that focus right there a little bit on what can you really handle in a week. If you write down what you do for a week, um, maybe kind of detail it by the hour, and you will see really what you're accomplishing in a week, and then you go from there, because over planning is overkill. Over scheduling these kids is overkill. And you also, while you're by the hour, pay attention to the children and their moods and their demeanors, and are they actually getting things done? Is it a struggle? Are they tired? Because that means you need to cut back some things. And I was just talking to somebody today about how I'm still very graceful, still very intentional, and priority. You guys know I'm very disciplined, and so there are certain things that I do make sure that get done, and that's just what crossing T's and dotting I's. Some things I let go. Some things I don't even try to pick up because it's not necessary. I'm not trying to stress myself out. We're both about the same age. I think I'm a little bit older than her and have about the same amount of kids. And, well, give or take, because y'all know I have many, but homeschool age right now. And it's a lot. It is an awful lot to have to deal with on a daily basis, especially when you're dealing with multiple children. Okay. And putting all that stuff down in you're planning all of this stuff, but then you got Susie over here bouncing off the wall, somebody over here doing something, you didn't sleep good last night, or got laundry over here been piled up. Things like that mess up your whole thought process. It messes up, a lot of things. And to put that pressure is just really unnecessary. Um, so I'm just, I'm not saying doing bare minimum, but I know what I'm doing. I'm very intentional. I prioritize it, and it is very effective. And so I'm not, we're not having to, Lord, I don't know, but I have never once gone through any job interview where the people asked me who was the 39th president, that type of thing. We not learning all about that. I could care less. Nobody asked when you learn, you know, 10 times 5. Nobody asked me when. Long as I can do it, did you learn in the 5th grade? No, but that was never an interview question. So, yeah. Learn how to, take that stress off of yourself and stop trying to run that race. It's not necessary. Pace yourself, discipline yourself, be realistic about your your expectations. Lay out that real plan, not that, you can have that grand plan, make it all pretty and perfect for Instagram and YouTube and Pinterest and, all this other stuff. But in reality, I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. We are all moms. We are not fooling anybody. And I'm saying I tell you all, I'm real. I am not superwoman. I juggle many things. And the thing I look at is many of you all have younger children than I do. I get a lot more done because I have older children and they're more self sufficient and they help. But many of you have small children and you run in the household all day long, all kinds of stuff. And I know it's not possible for you to get all this stuff done. I'm not naive at all, and neither is anybody else. So don't try to fluff it up for the kudos and the accolades. It doesn't work. Okay? It does not work. That inflated ego homeschool mom, that's so played. It doesn't work at all. It gives a false sense of reality to the homeschooling. Change it. Change that. If you're one that was following somebody, and it kind of took your spirit and made it, you know, don't do that. That's not the right thing to do. Know that what you are doing and what your journey is, you're capable. You're more than capable. You just have to discipline yourself. Because, see, the stuff that they're not showing and the stuff that they're not telling is the stuff that needs to be shown and needs to be told. Okay? Because there's another side to that. They just want to pretty stuff up and make it just so. And, yeah. Mm. Let's see. Hmm. Let's see. Change. That one change a week, and maybe here or there. I'm not sure if anybody's interested, but I can let you all know a little bit about more about the changes that I make and things like that to become even more effective, more productive. That's just my word of the day every day, productivity. I can know that if I don't write the stuff in the lesson plan book, I still know that it was a productive day unless nothing got done, which is impossible. If nothing got done, then nobody would eat, there would be no laundry, the house would be a mess, and y'all know my house is not like that. Everybody eats. So there was some productivity going on. Okay. um One change that is beneficial if you are a listen, if you are a I'm gonna just put it like this. Many of us are so busy homeschooling or are so busy out of the home, just making excuses to run out of the home. Well, you can't homeschool if you're not at home. And yes, I know there are opportunities outside the home, okay, to do things, but many of us take the homeschooling deal and that flexibility and abuse it. So much so as to where you have lost control of homeschooling. That's another reason burnout occurs. You're so busy outside of the home that you're not homeschooling. Everybody is, quote unquote, behind. You don't know if you're coming or going. It's because you have spent so much time out the home, and when you come back, you're tired or something else comes up. You're half doing lessons. The kids are tired. That's not going to work. That's just not real world. Um, Change it. I run my errands on 1 or 2 days a week, and I know I think I said something to the effect that we go to Costco every other day. Yeah, that was a exaggeration. That was in that last chat. I can't remember what it was I was saying, but I do remember saying that. So exaggeration. I said we can go, and that's only because that is the first store or first spot we hit. We have to. It's right here. We can't even, to go across the freeway to somewhere else, Target or somewhere. We have to pass Costco to even get out the neighborhood. It's in the neighborhood. So, that's where that came from. We have to pass it. If we're going to get gas, we're going to Costco. But yeah, the good thing about low key, the good thing about Costco, y'all, is Costco delivers, okay? They deliver groceries. So they have the edge over Walmart. They have the edge over Sam's. Anywhere else, our local grocery store, not that pickup stuff, but they actually deliver the stuff to the house. So yeah. If y'all are not members of Costco, then you might want to think about that $120 membership. It's worth it. Because some days it's cold or it's raining, and I just don't want to go that 60, 30, seconds, whatever, down the road to the store. Um, Anywho, but yeah, we limit the errands and the outings and the trips and things like that to once, twice a week. And it's not everybody. I'm not always the one going out. We're not always all going out. It just depends on what the errand is or what the appointment is or what have you. So, yeah, to homeschool, you have to be at home. Okay, there's just no way around that. Yes, you can take some things, with you, but in essence, you need to be at home. It still takes away from, your MO. Oh, excuse me. And so kind of, narrow down your appointments, your your menu planning will help with your, running back and forth to the grocery store. It shouldn't be that dramatic to where you have to go somewhere every other day. Okay? Y'all that are talking finance wise, I just don't understand. Gas is kind of low these days, but gas is expensive. Okay? And if you're trying to save money or you're saying you don't have money for this and that, think about the gas you spend and all these. I need to get up and run out the house. No, I need to stay at home. Okay? I need to stay at home because that gas costs money. Okay? We only going out if we have to. So think about that. Think about the money that you can save. That's a change right there. And that's a household change, not just a homeschool change. Um, if it is, you know, uh, procrastination in the morning, get up. That can be a big one. If because we're at home as moms, and many of us tend to, procrastinate in the morning or want to do that PJ thing. I'm not, I don't know. It's just something about it. You get up and get dressed and be productive, take a shower, self care, type of thing. That's a, place for pajamas and things like that. Um, but yeah, if you're just going to lounge around, sometimes that does become a problem because you're less productive. So if you get up and get a shower, um, get dressed, you seem to be more productive. And there are other things that you can do before doing all of that, but get up before the kids. I have never, uh, yeah, in all my years, I have never been one to get up after my kids because kids need supervision. Okay, I don't care how you teach them, how you train them. Um, yeah, I don't understand that one. I don't understand at all. And I get, let me see. It was probably 3 last night when I went to bed. Because you guys know I work, and a lot of times I'm working after I get the kids into bed. So, um, but I'm up. I'm up before them, and yeah, probably go in early tonight. Only because I think I got up about 8 this morning. But yeah, get up before the kids. Get yourself situated. Take time for yourself. That can be another change. If you don't take time for yourself, take time for yourself in the mornings. Do something for yourself. Be intentional. Um, I don't know. Take care of your face. Take care of your hair. Take care of your, makeup. If you don't do makeup, maybe try. I have there's a whole nother deal on that. But do something for yourself, do your nails, anything. Something that says, I took care of myself. Okay. Not, I have to deal with these kids all day and I'm just, yeah. Something like, um, if I can tell you guys one thing on that one, I would say if you eat a live frog every day, every morning, there can't be anything worse, okay, to come. So, you're doing all this for yourself, taking care of yourself. Then you want to, the things that you put off, because we put off things that we don't want to do, okay? That child is going to uh, manipulate and whine this way out of the lesson. And we know this, okay? Get that one out of the way. Just swallow that right away, okay? That way, the rest of the day will be just fine. Once they understand that this is what's going to happen, you get that out of the way, you keep moving. Usually by that time they forget it, but if it's a certain time you set aside, those hard tasks, either they don't get done or it becomes so that that child just really knows, even it may be a lesson that is not even as difficult as the day before, but because they see that that's what's coming, they already automatically, that's a trigger. So change it to where you just get it out of the way. You swallow that medicine whole and be done. Let me see. What else can I say about a change? Homeschooling. Um, I don't know. I still have some other things to do. Like I said, this was pretty impromptu, but yes, I am going to sit down, film, show you all what's going on, and um, keep you in the loop and things like that. That just has not been a priority of mine because we're just focused. We're really focused, and I just don't want to kill that focus and kind of lose that intentionality. Okay, it's just something about the discipline um, that I just don't want to, I don't want to aggravate. It just, I know myself, and I know if I try to disrupt something at a certain time, I'm just so, when I'm focused on something, I have to see it through. And if I just try to mess it up, it's just going to throw everything off. So I don't want to do that yet. But I definitely want to continue to show you all what's going on and how we're doing. I know I have gotten, I've not really done live homeschooling, a homeschool live episode in a long time. And I don't know, it's something on Instagram a few months back. But that's kind of like the best bet. So if you guys are not following on Instagram, follow on Instagram because it's a little bit easier sometimes to show for a few minutes what's going on and explain something real quick. And, because people are there asking questions. So, yeah. Not that you all don't, but sometimes I'm doing live and you all don't get the notification or what have you, or it's not the right time for you to view because you're doing other things. So, or to chat. And I get that. But I definitely am going to kind of bring you guys up to speed with what's going on and share all of the, all of the happenings. Um, hmm. I've seen a lot of new faces, a lot of, familiar faces, a lot of old faces. And yeah, I kind of suspect that everybody's kind of doing the same thing, because it's been quiet. And I talked about the climate um, recently. I think that's what it was in last live chat, the climate, the homeschool climate. Um, it's been pretty quiet. And I really don't think that's by accident, though. I just, I think people are really content and they're really focused, or at least I hope so. Um, there's not a lot of hoo ha over this curriculum and that curriculum. Yes. Okay. Because it was this and that and this. And, I've not heard a lot anymore about, I don't really want to call out the curriculums, but every year, there's a brand new one, or, not a brand new one, it's a fad. There's a fad curriculum. And I've not heard anything. And even, the fads that have, come about and everybody's talked about, there's no more talk about it. And it just leads me to wonder, okay, so what happened? What happened? How, um, yeah, for me, and I'm not the only one that likes this. I see other people and hear other people talk about this. They like to see the children, or at least something visual that they can see progression in what the children are doing, not just mom speaking on it, because that's a different it gives you a different perspective rather than you seeing actually the children work through this, or you see the actual product. That makes sense. So it's kind of hard for me to jump on a fad, because it's like, okay, where did this, I need to know where the child started from and what growth was made using that curriculum, not just it was good, it did this, it did that, because that's not very it's not very telling. And yeah, same thing with the, I talked about doing the what do you call it, I'm talking with my hand. The reviews, and they're really overviews sometimes. Hey, I know who you are. I haven't responded to your message, but I'm glad you did comment. That's it. I hope y'all are good. But yeah, they're really overviews, and they need to be reviewed. In order to review something, you need to be able to use it consistently for an extensive amount of time. And there should be some sort of notes in there over progress. If this major child, taught them how to read, okay, it taught them how to read, that's valid. But if it's just something you're using just because and that's it, okay, just that's fine, but that's not that helpful. I've seen heard um curriculum choices, and there's really no in-depth look into the books, and that's a hard one. And I know a lot of people don't realize how valuable it is to open up those books and turn those pages, at least get a good middle, talk through what you noticed through the book, or get a good beginning, talk through what you noticed, talk about the middle things that the like the grading. It's going to start out this way, it's going to get this way, and towards the end it's going to this, so they should have learned how to do this. And show the end of the book, because just showing the book or a page or two, that's not that helpful, because it's really, guys, it's expensive to get this stuff, and it's hard to really tell and know if it is even the right, I'm gonna say the right level. Some of this, a lot of this stuff is not even properly. I can't even say properly, but every child learns different. So a lot of it's just hard to tell if that's just the book, the right level that they have, you know, put on there. You may need to level up, you may need to level down, and it really, really helps to give more insight, even if it makes for a longer video. And I know that's what I hear a lot of you all appreciate about me doing the comprehensive. And that's just because I really dig deep when I'm doing this stuff, because I want to kind of really tell you. I don't want to show you something and then make you think, okay, let me go buy this, and it's this, and it's really not that. No, I want to show you this is what you're going to get, and of course I use things differently, so I can show you, okay, well, you can use it this way, you can use it this way, or you can use it the way it was intended. Girl, oh, Layla, oh, that's too cute. So yeah, I think I'm gonna keep this up. But yeah, that's another change. If you're one of those um shy type bloggers, consider kind of opening up a little more and sharing a little more. Um, hmm, Especially if it's something that nobody has seen. Um, I really, really appreciate that. I've looked at I still look at this one, I didn't say I was opposed to the curriculum, but I look at this one thing and I watch a video still, because there's still videos being made about it. And I still watch the videos, and it's just interesting to see different people's perspective and how they walk through it. Especially if it's a curriculum that is secular versus non secular. The non secular will say it is completely non secular, whereas the secular will say it's completely secular when, it could be the complete opposite. It's just interesting. Interesting. Some of this stuff is supposed to be, non secular, and it's really not. So that's something I want to, I like to be forthcoming on. I talked about one of those um, math lessons for living education, and for one, I didn't even choose my expectation, and I was forthcoming with that. Was not even to use that for a math book. It was a supplement because of the copy work to teach the writing of the numbers and things like that. Math for a 4-year-old or a 3-year-old, in my opinion. But that one, which one do we have? The first level? Yeah, for I don't know. It's not graded, but a 4-year-old could do that book. So even a 3-year-old, they could. That's definitely not kindergarten or first grade level. But there were some things in there that I did not particularly like myself, and there was some aspects of it that was so you know of the world that I just was opposed to. And so those are things that I like to see. Is this in here? And a lot I talked about it. A lot of times this stuff changes, like in the second levels and the third levels. You won't see anything in the first level. So it looks very mild. And then when you get to the second level, third level, fourth level, it totally changes. So I keep my eyes out for stuff like that. Um, yeah. Mm-hmm. Something else I want to talk about. I think I'm gonna make that a separate video. Yeah, it's gonna be a whole separate chat in itself. I'm just I don't know. As I look for ideas. I look for, I'm not. It's not like because I'm a veteran, I'm not looking for ideas, or I'm not teachable, or anything like that. It's just, there is nothing that really stands out. There's a couple, handful of people, and it's not. And the thing is, they're not quote unquote popular. And I really, really, really enjoy the videos. Um, because it's something, and it's not, they're not even, yeah, just very low key, kind of do their own thing. I do my own thing. I don't follow anybody else. Um, that's what I like, and I'm like, okay. And a lot of them do the same things that I do. They have the same uh, styles and the same, we kind of, what am I trying to say? It's the same thought process. We take a common sense approach to homeschooling. There's no fluff. If I'm taking a notebook and writing out the curriculum, writing out sentences, that's what we're doing. There's no fluff behind it, and it works. And yet I see so many, the fluff, and it's like there comes the struggle, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So, if you all are, having a struggle or things like that, and um kids seem to be, I don't want to say unteachable, but what's the word, the term I have heard? I don't know. I guess maybe it is unteachable, or no, what is that other term? Unmotivated. Yeah. Maybe think about changing your approach. Guys, I know for a fact, I did say it may benefit a lot of people to hire out help. And if you can't hire out help, I know, seriously, if you save your gas money from running those errands, you'll have the money to hire out help. Okay, so I'm giving you help so that you can get help. Okay, there's a tip, because if you're saying, well, I can't afford it, stop running errands. You can afford it. Save that gas money. Um, if you know somebody, trade off. One of your friends may be better at doing it, even if they're not a homeschooler. They may know how to. They may be good at math, or they may be good at English, or something else. Ask them, trade them for something. You may be good at something. Make them a meal or something. They can come help your child 1 day a week, 2 days a week, or whatever it may be. Y'all have to. The society is so built on. It's so capitalistic. Back in the day, it wasn't like this. That's why I cannot. Oh my goodness, I cannot stand this. Going to school, um, mm-mm. And yeah, homes. I mean, what do you call it? Public school is fast going back down where it came from. Okay, it's just a matter of time before it's totally eliminated. But back in the day, we used to barter for stuff. There was, money. There was no money. It's all about the dollar these days. But there was no money. People bartered. Okay, so trade up. Your even your own family members may be able to help. Your in-laws may be able to help. Let them come in and show the kids some things a couple times and see if that makes a difference. So I heard of people saying, "Well, I couldn't teach my child this. They wouldn't learn this. I couldn't understand." And then I send them to school and they learned this in a week. Sometimes it's the approach. Okay? Sometimes it's just the approach, and we need to change our approach. We're too teachery. The house is too schooly. The curriculum is schooly. Um, yeah, it's a handful out there. It's kind of hard to put that on a piecemeal. I do the piecemeal type curriculum, but if it is a box curriculum, it can be too schooly. Like I heard a lot of people say Abeka is not homeschool, it's school at home. And it is. It's very tight, very rigid, and that's why a lot of people toss it. And you know, yeah, it's just one of those things. If you're doing one like that, it's got the videos and the video course and all that. That's how that thing was designed. And that is more or less, school at home. And not saying that that's a bad thing. Some need school at home. Some just can't, are not sure how to go about schooling the child, and it would be best. But sometimes it may be you may do a disservice by homeschooling the child when they should in fact be in school. So that may be a change. You know, use homeschooling as a supplemental or a complemental um, method. I've seen a lot, of the attitude towards the children change, and through these videos. Just oh, my kids are driving me crazy. My kids are this. My kids are that, and it's like, wow. If it's that bad, put them in school. Why are you doing this? Because your kids can feel. And that's like not a happy place. You're not even your whole heart is not even in it. It takes dedication and it takes discipline. And it's discipline is like the major. That's why always, 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 and really no matter what I'm speaking on discipline. when it comes to homeschooling, that is a major, that's like number one. And if you're not going to be disciplined, everybody can't. That's a major. And you have to be honest with yourself. um we talked about the home, the keeping of the home. That's the first thing to homeschooling. If you're not disciplined to keep your home clean, if you're not disciplined to discipline that child, that's another one. Homeschooling, before you even consider homeschooling, you have to discipline that child. That child can't even eat without causing chaos or making a mess. How do you expect to homeschool the child that is not even disciplined? And so, character building, those are things that need to start in the beginning. So, those of you that are thinking about homeschooling, before you even think about it, character train that child. And the thing is, you have to character train yourself. You're going to have to retrain yourself, because being of the world, um, yeah, you, yeah, it's just a whole lot. It's a whole lot. A lot of us are so, I'm talking about change. Well, I was raised this way and it wasn't bad and I turned out good. But then the reflection comes out in the kids. Okay, if you turned out good, what's going on with your kids? Why are your kids so bad? Because they're a reflection of you. Now, yes, sometimes, because I do have older kids, I know how my kids were raised, and kids will go wayward. They will, just flat out. I'm going to tell you that they grow up, because we did it. You know, Not everybody listen to their parents. I can tell you, people my age on here have kids that are grown. If we listen to our parents, we wouldn't have grown kids right now. Okay, so just honest truth. Let me get that out the way. Kids don't listen once they get a certain age. Okay, but while they're small, you want to make sure that you get them disciplined enough to do that, because if they can't even follow a simple direction, you're going to have chaos there. You're going to have chaos just in the home, trying to control the home, period. So make the discipline a priority, and something that everybody has to adhere to. Even though it is kind of tough sometimes, mom just have to take hold of the reins and do what's easiest. You should never be the one bearing the burden of everything and everybody, to where you can't function yourself. Um, so, anywho, I am working on 53 minutes and I'm going to get off of here. And some of these things I'm going to continue to. There are topics that I have up and coming for this year. Heart matters, whether it's homeschooling or not. But yeah, just heart matters. And guys, I know that it can be very, 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 very lonely as a homeschool mom. Just know that you're not alone. That's the thing. You're not alone unless you want to be alone. And nobody ever said you were not going to be lonely. That's something you have to come to terms with. You probably are going to be lonely, and I'm just saying that I'm not that lonely person. But if you make yourself feel lonely, you're going to be lonely. And it has nothing to do with homeschooling, is what I'm saying. You were lonely before the homeschooling. I hear a lot, oh, I'm a homeschooler, I'm by myself, there's nobody else that I can relate to. No, there is. And y'all just have to read the book on that. But yeah, it's coming. you alienate yourself basically. And that's yeah, that right there can be lonely. So lonely. I have been in so many different places, moved and lived so many different places, and it's difficult to um when you're a mover, you learn how to adapt. And people that have been in one place pretty much all their whole life, those are the ones that are seem to be the loneliest. And it's like, really, man, we're going here, going there, don't know anybody, can't speak the language or whatever, and are not lonely. So it's what you make of it. um Change one thing a week, every week. There are 52 weeks in a year. Make one change a week in your homeschooling. Write it down, stick it on the board, however you want to do it. Nothing major. I mean, one line is pretty much all that will suffice. And change it. Honestly, change it. See what happens. Those of you, one thing I do want to say is, if you are not talking to the children on a regular basis, I don't care if it's at the end of the day or the end of the week, you should always conference with your children on what they something that they would like to change. You need to know where they are, where they stand, not just be this teacher, parent teacher, whatever you want to call yourself to that child. You need to know that you need to have some feedback from that child. Is this helping you? Are you understanding? Because I'm still seeing a lot of that. These kids are making it, a couple of months, a whole year, and not knowing certain concepts, not understanding. You having to go back and repeat it. Whereas if you're with them on a daily basis, you should know that without having to go back after. I just that's a hard one. So if you sit down and you talk to them and find out in a non-evasive way, not while they're doing this away, you just know, because that's going to cause frustration. Wait till there's no school going on and just talk to them. Did you really understand what I was asking you to do? Did you really understand this lesson? Really listen to them. Let them explain it. Explain it in a way that they can explain it. And that way you'll know, yes, if they really understood it. Yes, I'll get hers in just a minute. Y'all have to be quiet. Um, let them tell you if there's anything that they would like to change, and use that within reason. I know the conventions are coming up. Y'all are going to conferences. Yay, go get motivated. Take the kids to convention. Let the kids look at the stuff. Let them look at it. Let them determine if they can use this. Stop force feeding these kids with stuff that they don't understand, or they're not going to use anyway. These kids are going to learn what they want to learn. Your goal is to teach them how to learn, not sit and teach them. Okay? I have a whole nother deal on that as well. Again, I am not, that's just been my motto. Teach them how to learn. That's it. I'm not teaching anybody anything. You will hear a veteran. I hear only veterans talk that way. It's because we know it's from experience. It's from experience. Um, but yeah, take them, let them look at the stuff, and they can determine. Of course, they have to, everything can't be fun and games, but they can save you a whole lot of money, just by looking at the stuff and saying, hey, I don't like the way this looks, because I'm telling you guys, color, a lot of you guys are gravitating towards a lot of color. Oh, it's colorful, it's this, it's that. It's mom saying that. I like it because it's colorful. You will never hear me say that. Color is a distraction all the way around. I know which one of my kids, and my kid, I that I have one when it comes to reading. There are certain things that the child will not read, and they told me it's because it's black and white. I don't like to read these books. And I'm like, okay, I need to go get something that has some color because you really need to read. Okay. They don't particularly like chapter books, and you guys know how I feel about these little twaddle books. They like to be read to, but that's not my goal to keep these read louds up. That child has to be able to ultimately read chapter books on their own. And whether they had, the pictures are black and white, I don't like that. Well, you're going to have to get over it because eventually your books are not going to have pictures in them anyway. So, yeah, I have one like that. So, but I said, hey, I'm just going to appease you with what you said, and I'm going to get you something with some color, something that I can be satisfied with, and something that you can be satisfied with. But that's mom that I hear talking about that color. Some of these kids don't need that. You need to tone it down, take the color away. They need black and white. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. Um, yeah. I always, I pay attention to them, and I just ask them, like I said, does this help you? Do you really understand this? Is there another way I can teach you this? Show me. How would you learn this? And a lot of times they help me out. So I might throw something to the side and say, okay, hey, we're not going to do that this way, or we'll use this later on. I see that you learn it this way. It helps you better to learn it this way. So we do that a lot. I conference with them often because I need their feedback. I'm still at the point where I just, even though I have graduated, so many kids, I don't, these kids are different. Every child is different. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing something and it works. That's all I know. It's working. My whole formula on, overall is working, but individually they're different. They all need a special sauce, so to speak. So I'm just trying to, that's what I try to do, add that special sauce to help them out. So yeah, but once a week, make that change. Like I said, I may come back here and there and just kind of dabble and let you guys know, or every now and then, let you know about these little small changes. And again, like I said, this has nothing to do with curriculum. Watch from the beginning if you didn't see. It has nothing to do with curriculum changes. I told you guys a long time ago I wasn't buying anything, and I'm not buying anything. I have not. It's just unnecessary. Um, I could never be so sure, you know, and know that, I guess if these other kids hadn't gone this far, I couldn't really stand on that, but I can stand on it, and I'm good with it. So, yeah. And having them tell me, okay, mom, you remember we didn't learn this, or you didn't show us this, or we didn't do this, that's not even important. I depend on them a lot to say, okay, they don't even need to know that. Okay. So it really does help. And I try to share with you all as much as I can. School is different these days. It's not like when we went to school, and these tests are not, um, they're not like what we took, it's different stuff. So, yeah. Sometimes this stuff don't even matter, but yeah. Anywho, I'll be back, and let's see. Today is Monday. I have intention, and I'm gonna stick with that intention because it's been planned. Something I was gonna do since forever. I'll be back on here Thursday. That is an intentional little chat, and yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, I do know what I'm gonna talk about, but yeah, I had intentionally picked that day because it's a specific day. So I am going to come back and and talk. It's not homeschool related, but I will be back on live Thursday sometime, maybe in the morning. I don't know. I have no idea when. Let me get off of here, and you all have a perfect week. And yes, I said perfect because whatever, whatever. Yeah, whatever is perfect for you is perfect. Okay, perfect. I had a perfect day because it was perfect. Okay, if it's perfect to you, it's perfect. Yeah, you don't know what I mean. Hopefully, I can have a good evening. Okay, I might try to schedule it. I don't know, but like I said, it's just a little something I want to do for that day anyway. But yeah, hopefully you can catch it. Keep your notifications on. All right, guys. Happy. Let's say happy homeschooling. I'm sitting here looking for my phone, and my phone is in my hand. Like that. You know, I gotta get to this laundry that's folded, and yeah, see my stack of curriculum and stuff. That's what I have to get to.